Hey, do you know the #1 reason that people divorce?
I do.
Well, it could go either way, but it's usually money and sex, but it's really money. And sometimes it's money for sex, or sex for money. That's a whole other thing.
For another video, for another time.
Barry and Tammy Smith here, Family with Purpose. We want to talk to you today about marriage and about money.
Debt.
And particularly as it relates to debt. You've been doing a bunch of research. Dave Ramsey is like a stud when it comes to this sort of thing. What's some of the latest stats that
we were married about 25 years ago, actually, in January.
Dave Ramsey told you that?
No, I know that.
Oh, okay.
Luckily, I didn't even need our.
So you're not going to give us the stats.
I am.
You're going to set it up first.
Yes.
Okay, here's the setup.
25 years ago, when we got married, at least one couple together brought 40% of the couples that were married brought debt into their relationship, married into debt. Now, fast forward 25 years to now, 83% of couples bring debt of some amount into the marriage.
That's scary.
That's crippling. That's crazy.
8 out of 10 marriages start off with a hindrance, with a weight, with a crutch, with a wound,
ball and chain.
Yeah, and this doesn't make people feel bad. 8 out of 10 of you are in this position, and the idea though is that you've got to recognize that, and then figure out how you're going to manage that and reduce that and get out of that, because that debt is a destroyer of your marriage, and it won't single-handedly destroy it.
It will eat away at it.
But you wonder why money, the lack of it, or too much of it, or not enough of it, whatever it is,
or the wrong kind,
or the wrong kinds, is the #1 reason why people divorce. Or certainly, if not the #1 reason, it is in the top 2 or 3 every time, somehow related to money. And so we've got to figure out a way to get a hold of that. And what happens is, when dealing with budgets and money and debt, is that when 8 out of 10 people are coming into a marriage with debt, there's instant stress in the marriage. And then when she wants to go out and buy some new shoes or buy some clothes or buy whatever it is, and he's out buying whatever he's going to buy, or he goes out golfing with his buddies, or goes out and has some cigars, I don't know. But he goes out and does his thing. Then you come back and go, well, we don't have money to be doing that.
Or we have no money left over for our bills.
Yeah, you got plenty of clothes. You don't need that. You don't need to go out to buddies with Topgolf and be hitting the golf balls.
And that's not what we want in a marriage. We want to be able to have time with our friends and have money to do those things every once in a while.
And so the answer, the key, the tool that we want to give you, the resource that we have done that has been unbelievable for our marriage, and even for our finances, as far as the freedom in no guilt, is an allowance.
Now that sounds so cheesy because you think of an allowance for kids, young or old, but truly, I know we're kids at heart, but truly an allowance for adults, it is so freeing, because it's actually a line in your budget for allowance, and it's accountable money that you get to decide what to do with.
You want to go out and spend $100 as a guy on a golf round, or a gal, just go spend it. Come back and go, well, how'd you pay for that? Oh, my allowance.
Oh, I'm glad that you have a good time. Yeah.
She comes home with new clothes or whatever it is.
No, I get my nails done.
Yeah, you get Marvin nails, and comes back, well, who paid for that? Oh, my allowance.
Oh, great.
The nails look awesome. I'm happy that you got to go spend that money, because we agreed upon a certain amount of allowance. Now, when I had a second job there for a while, I increased my allowance. Don't have that second job now, and I haven't decreased it. So we're probably going to have to make some adjustments this following year. But regardless of the amount, whether it's $10 or $100 or $1,000, it depends on you. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be great.
It depends on you and your budget, but whatever it is, a lot, as you're trying to whittle and get out of debt, you still have to come back and try to have some money that you can enjoy. Whether it's $10 and you go blow it at Taco Bell and come back just all beefed up but happy as a clam. Yep. You figure out what that is. We do it every month. We get our little envelope, and it has our allowance in it, and I take it
and when it's gone, it's gone. It's gone. Or sometimes we save our allowance. I know Barry does this a lot. He'll put a little bit of away, and then when we go on vacation, he'll blow it on us, or he'll blow it on somebody else.
Yeah, somehow my allowance, I do have more, but somehow it ends up not being spent on me.
But the nice thing about the allowance is that you get to spend it guilt-free and however you want, and you know you're going to always get that. And like Barry said, at first it may not be very much or any at all. That's why you'd work on your debt to get it at least eliminated some, so that you can have an allowance as soon as you can.
And one of the ways to do that is a snowball. Dave Ramsey talks about that, is you lay out all your debts, because this isn't just about having an allowance to go out and blow. You lay out all your debts and figure out, you can either take the highest interest ones, or now he's kind of switched, I think, the smallest ones. If this one's only 100 and that's 10,000, put them in order. Start weeding these out. And if you were paying $10 a month here and $20 a month here, once this $10 one's paid off, then you take that 10 with this 20 and you pay 30. So now you get that one taken care of. And if you were paying 50 a month on the next highest bill, then you take this 30 with that 50 and now you pay 80. And once you got that bill paid off and you continue to pay your other minimums, then you take that 80 and apply it to your $220 car payment. Now you're paying $300 towards your car, and then you just keep going until you're out of debt. And then don't get back in it.
It really works. It works.
Okay, here's what we want you to understand as we land this plane. 8 out of 10 of you or so have had this debt in your lives.
It's crippling.
And it's crippling you. And we really believe that this allowance and having a little bit of money, no matter how much it is, to spend for
however you wish,
totally guilt-free, that you can celebrate each other's spending, it can save your marriage. And certainly enhance your marriage at a minimum. It could only make it better. But you got to follow it. You got to do it.
And you got to give the other person freedom to spend their money however they like.
Doesn't have to make sense. So get yourself an allowance and keep getting out of debt.
Just as soon as you can, get an allowance.
Your marriage is going to be that much better for it. As always, like, share, comment, and subscribe to these videos. It helps us get the message out there. It helps with the YouTube algorithm and Facebook algorithm, which nobody cares about, but just like it anyway and share it.
And we know by 8 out of 10 people in America that are married with debt, we know people need this knowledge. So share.
Somebody undoubtedly that you know needs to hear this.
You're going to bless their life and give them more freedom. So
we appreciate it. Get yourself an allowance and free yourself up in your marriage.